Welcome all. Welcome to the light and love that is Unity of Lawrence. And we're all such brave, intrepid souls and dedicated to our spiritual growth, obviously. Although people at home can be dedicated too, so we'll just let that be expand, okay? But here we are together. And in Unity, we begin everything with prayers. So Joanne, our prayer chaplain, will come forward so that we can affirm the presence that we know is within us.
So let's take a moment to just breathe. Just breathe and be aware of that breath. Do you know that breath depends on the oxygen produced by plants? If we didn't have plants, we wouldn't have oxygen. So let's give thanks for our beautiful vegetative world. And if we didn't have sunlight, rain, and fertile soil, we wouldn't have plants. So let's give thanks for that also. And let us give thanks as we comprehend that there are so many things we don't understand and comprehend. So let us give thanks for the many, many things that resonate throughout the universe to produce our lives. Let us particularly give thanks for those we love. Give thanks for this wonderful congregation, for our families, and for our friends, for it's our connection with those that make life meaningful. Thanks for everything, just as it is. Thank you, Spirit. Amen.
Yes, gratitude is always where we are. And now, let's stand and sing along with Jay. I'm choosing heaven today. Good one. Well, they're all good, but great one.
I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing love today. I'm choosing love today. I am walking the road of heaven right now. I'm choosing love today. Now please turn to your neighbor, say good morning and hello with a handshake or a hug. If you have a cold, maybe a bow, but welcome. We're really glad you're here. I'm choosing joy today. I'm choosing joy today. I am walking the road of heaven right now. I'm choosing joy today. I'm choosing peace today. I'm choosing peace today. I am walking the road of heaven right now. I'm choosing peace today. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now. I'm choosing heaven today.
Please affirm with me Unity's foundational principles. Together, there is only one present, united in divine love and joy, we celebrate a peaceful and abundant world for all. Our mission statement, we are a wide spiritual community, sharing love, building bridges, and inspiring transformation. And now let's welcome Cindy Novello, who is providing the special music today.
Good morning. Such a beautiful, sparkling morning. My life flows on in endless song, above earth's lamentation. I hear the sweet, though far off hymn that hails the new creation. Above the tumult and the strife, I hear the music ringing. It sounds an echo in my soul. How can I keep from singing? What though the tempest loudly roar? I hear the truth, it liveth. And though the darkness round me close, songs in the night it giveth. No storm can shake my inmost calm, while to this rock I'm clinging. Since love is Lord of heaven and earth, how can I keep from singing?
Thank you, Cindy. That was lovely. Whenever I hear that song, I also remember that it was one of the favorites of our beloved Enola Charity. Some others, I'm sure, can remember her singing it as well. Yeah. Okay, well, I am going to introduce our speaker. Some of us know her, but just in case, we need a little bit of background here. Reverend Edna Mosher became a licensed Unity teacher in 2003 and an ordained Unity minister in 2006. With her husband, Reverend David, They were pioneering co-ministers at Unity in Leesburg, Virginia from 2006 to 2012. A year after moving to Lawrence, Kansas to be closer to the Mosher family, Reverend Edna began guest speaking and subsequently served part-time with Reverend David, part-time, many hours a week, as co-minister here at Unity of Lawrence from November 2013 until April 2015. And Reverend Edna works full-time in the electronics industry, serves on the board of her local neighborhood association, and on Unity Worldwide Ministries admissions team, as well as supports others with spiritual counseling. One of her greatest joys is spending time with her 5 grandchildren who all live here in Lawrence. Welcome to Reverend Edna.
Thank you, Sharon. All right. Unity of Lawrence, it is great to be back with you today, especially on this wonderful wintry day. It's so beautiful outside. How great of you to come and get through that ice and snow. So, as you all know, you have a very organized superwoman, Kathy Moreland, as the administrator here, right? Yes. All right. Woo! Well, several months ago, I sat down with her, and we chose today as the day that I would come to speak with you again. So, I have to tell you, I did something really selfish after that. I went and wrote this talk for myself. Now, now I know I'm supposed to write the talk to spiritually feed the Unity community, but I just couldn't help myself. You know, I looked in the calendar as to when this Sunday talk was, and it followed 2 really great Sundays. It followed the burning bowl, where we released what no longer serves us, and then it followed the white stone ceremony, where we get quiet and allow Spirit to bring a name or a power or some phrase to us to invite us into greater spiritual expression in 2020. Well, I was really excited about having that Sunday, but then sometimes I would listen to the news, especially news about the environment or politics. And then I got this sense of dread about 2020. Has anybody else ever been there? Yeah, and I was like, oh boy, I know enough about the mind, and certainly with Unity's teachings about not feeding those types of thoughts. So I was like, I have to get this turned around pretty quickly. So I was like, okay, Edna, what's your plan? Now, if you know me, you know that I'm a planner. You can ask Reverend David. I'm the one in the Mosher family sending out the notices, way ahead of time when anybody else would about when we're getting together, or how things are, going to happen, who's bringing what. So I'm a planner. So I was like, okay, what's my next step? So I got quiet, sat down, stilled my mind, and allowed myself to come into that place where we know we're in alignment with Spirit. I was like, what is it? What is my next step? And immediately, I had this vision of this sphere. It was a beautiful sphere. It was filled with this royal blue radiating light. And in the very center of it was this radiating white light just streaming out. And it immediately came to me, this is representing my divine self, that divine self that is in all of us. It was so clear. So then not only did I see it, but I started to feel it. I started to feel it within me. And it was like, And I went into this place of deep inner peace. And I was like, okay, that's the plan. I want to stay there. I want to stay there. How can I stay there, Spirit? And it was like immediately again, the answer came, build a stronger foundation. I was like, okay, we got a plan. As long as you give me a plan, I'm good to go. All right. So, although I wrote this talk for me, I hope that as I walk through the steps and processes that I'm looking at, that you too will take a look at building a stronger foundation for your 2020. For we can all benefit by building stronger foundations. We all have that potential to reach that place where we feel that deep inner peace. As we come to know, feel, and experience the very energy and vibration of that divine light, that Christ consciousness within us. So everybody in? All in for building a foundation? All right. So, the writer of the Gospel of Matthew has something to say about creating a foundation. And this comes from chapter 7, verses 24 through 27. And he writes, "Everyone, then, who hears these words of mine and acts on them will be like a wise man who built his house on rock. The rain fell, the floods came, the winds blew and beat on that house, but it did not fall because it had been founded on rock. And everyone who hears these words of mine and does not act on them will be like a foolish man who built his house on sand. The rain fell, the wind swept, the floods came, and beat against that house, and it fell, and great was its fall." You know, in Unity, we read the Bible on several different levels, including the spiritual, metaphysical level. So in this passage, the house, remember he's building the house represents our consciousness. And in ancient wisdom, the longevity of structures that are made with rock and stone are associated with the divine and the internal. So we have this house of consciousness, the rock, solid rock, divine and eternal. So my interpretation is that this house, this place of consciousness, when we build it on the truths of spirit, on divine eternal principles, we are less likely to be tossed about by the winds and rains of life. That we are better able to connect with that Christ consciousness within us, to connect to Source and experience deep inner peace. So, if we're going to build a foundation this morning, we better get to work.
Like Port Royal.
Port Royal, what's that?
It's like a city that was lost.
Oh,
It was built on sand.
oh.
And there was like an earthquake. And
Whoops. This did fit in practice. Must have had my flat hair then. Okay, so I had to do some research about building a foundation because I've never built a foundation before. So apparently, there are 4 steps. So the first step is preparing the ground. So what do builders do? They clear the ground of any large rocks or weeds or stones that's going to make that foundation unlevel. So spiritually, what does this mean to us? This means if we're building this foundation for 2020, we better be pulling up those weeds that say you are less than, those weeds that say you're not enough, those weeds that say there's lack and limitation. It may mean letting go of a relationship that you know has not been feeding you, that has been a block to your growth. And in Unity, we have some tools for letting go. I just mentioned one earlier, the burning bowl ceremony, that symbol of releasing the old. And there's a course called the Q process, which if you do the work, it is very, very good at getting to those deep things that will surprise you, that are still there in your consciousness that you thought you had released long ago. So, there we go. We've got the ground cleared. The next step, apparently, is building a frame. So, for the construction workers, they need that tight frame. They need that clear designation of where they're going to be pouring in all that concrete. So, what is the support? I ask myself, because framing is all about support. So what is the support system that I'm going to allow? Because for me, it's about allowing. Because I have to tell you, I'm a pretty happy person. I could stay in my bedroom for a very long time and be perfectly happy. So, it's about what am I going to allow me to engage in and allow me to support me. So as we think about this part of the framing, I invite you to think about what are you going to allow to support you in 2020 as you build a stronger foundation. So for me, the very first thing that came to me when I asked Spirit what's going to be my support is spiritual community. The spiritual community here is an awesome community where you just have the opportunity to remember who you are, remember who we are, the divine being. And Unity Worldwide Ministries and their education department is right close if you actually want to go up there, and they have amazing online courses to help support us. The second side of my frame is I'm going to include sacred stillness. Now, sacred stillness is definitely part of my practice, but I tell you one thing it's not. It's not at the same consistent time every day. So I'm going to try this out because I've got a lot going on, and so I make excuses for not doing it at the same time. So I don't know about you, with your sacred practice where you get still, if that's a consistent thing, if you want to try it with me, just to do it at the same time every day. The third part of my frame that I'm going to use is sacred body. And our bodies are this gift. Sometimes when we look in the mirror, we might not think it's a gift. We might think we want it to be something else, but our bodies are a gift from Spirit. This is what transports us through this earth that we chose to come to. And for me, I had this big shift when my spiritual coach said to me, "Do you love your body?" I had to pause, because it's like, I know that I'm in a consciousness of love so much of my life, and I have love for people, but do I love my body? So I'm working on that this year. I'm working on making some healthier choices than I made in 2019, doing some more stretching, doing some more walking, healthier feeding. So that's my third side. And my fourth side I already mentioned is my spiritual coach. So there's an aspect of spirituality that I've kind of resisted for a while, exploring for a while. And it's come up again, so I'm going to dedicate some time just to exploring that and see where it takes me. All right, so that's our framing. We've got our frame done, and once we have our frame done, then we're ready to pour the concrete. All right. So this is a very critical step. A friend of mine used to work in the control tower of a concrete plant. And as each truck would pull up to be filled, it was so important to have the exact mixture that contractor had ordered. Because every different site is different. There's all different formulas to concrete. Who knew? Who knew that? All right. So I thought about, okay, for us, we're each unique. And what we are allowing in our consciousness is our choice. We decide what we're going to put in that mixture to strengthen our foundation. And I'm sure that as all of us have journeyed so far on this spiritual path, that we already have some core beliefs in our foundation, some core beliefs that we will not waver on, that strengthen us in making those choices, that strengthen us in being in alignment with Spirit. So for 2020, I'm inviting all of us to determine if there is a core spiritual principle or spiritual practice that may be calling to you to help strengthen your spiritual foundation in 2020. Now, one thing that I have experienced on my spiritual journey is that sometimes doing a whole book where there's all different kind of spiritual ideas coming at me is not always the best thing that feeds me. That sometimes it's when I get quiet and set apart a time in my life, whether it's a couple weeks, a couple months, to take one or two spiritual principles really deeply, to develop affirmations, to develop, like, no matter what comes up, to repeat that over and over, to be with the text that it comes from, just to really go in depth maybe with that chapter of what it's all about. And I found that has made a real difference for me. And it reminded me of something Reverend Paul Hasselbeck spoke here a couple weeks ago, right? So in one of our classes, he had challenged us to take 2 of the 12 powers in unity and work with them together. And it was interesting. It was like they bounced off of each other as I worked to internalize those. So there's really something to this practice of taking 1 or 2 principles deeper. And I hope you'll let that bless your foundation. So let's go back to our instructions in the Gospel of Matthew. Because as it begins, remember he wrote, "Everyone then who hears these words of mine and acts on them will be like a wise man who built his house on rock." Everyone who hears and acts. So it's like, oh, that definitely needs to be in my concrete that I'm blending for this year. So I went back to the beginning of the chapter 7. And there's some core principles that are in there that are not only in Christianity, but I would say probably in every spiritual path. Not judging others. Do not judge so that you may not be judged. Ask and it will be given you. Search and you will find. Knock and the door will be open for you. And this is so core. I think of how this went deeper for me, this teaching with the consciousness of Abraham, where through Esther Hicks, I just got it so clearly that first and foremost is being in alignment with that Christ consciousness, that source consciousness. And from there, we ask, search, and knock what is ours to do, what is the next blessing for my life, my family's. And then one more, the golden rule. In everything, do to others as you would have them do to you, for this is the law and the prophets. Wise teaching to take in this year. I also looked at some other things that we can blend in our concrete or principles we might want to go deeper on. Certainly, I looked at all of the Unity 5 principles. All of them apply here. I looked at divine ideas. What if What if we set a time frame to just live from the divine idea of peace? In Unity's revealing word, the Dictionary of Metaphysical Terms, I thought that was so interesting. I saw the one that said peacemaker. Peacemaker, one who has the ability to say peace to the turbulent waves of thought and have them obey. A peacemaker is one who reduces to peace and harmony all the thoughts of strife, anger, and retaliation in our own mind. Wow, the ability to say peace to thoughts and have them obey. How powerful is that when we think at times, our thoughts are controlling us? It's like, oh no, I can claim to be a peacemaker. I can say peace to you, thought. Peace to you. So that's our blend of our concrete. One more step is finishing. A concrete finisher uses a hand trowel or a power trowel to come through and remove all the flaws in that smooth texture they're trying to create as they finish the concrete. And it really has to be done while the concrete is still just a little bit pliable. And as I thought about how that applied spiritually, I was like, oh, this is perfect. This is like at the end of our day. The end of our day when our mind is still a little bit pliable, but we want to finish it off and take it to this really sweet place. So instead of beating ourselves up as we try to go to bed for what we didn't do or where we might have fallen short, we have the opportunity to just say, I am peace. I am one with the Christ consciousness. I am that divine child of God. Smoothing out the edges. So, my friends, our project here is done. We have built our foundation. We can carry this metaphor with us. So what are we going to do? We're going to prepare the ground. We're going to weed out those weeds of what no longer serves us. We're going to set up our frame. We're going to decide what we want to support us in this year of 2020. The third step, we're going to think about what one or two principles we would really want to go deep in to strengthen our foundation. And for the fourth, that finishing off, that blessing us, being in our I am affirmation. So then as the rains and the floods come, and they will, that's part of life. This is not about avoiding the rains and floods. This is not about avoiding the issues that are in our society. But this is being in that place of Christ consciousness, being in that place of peace. And from there, being willing to be open to Spirit as what is ours to do, to be a blessing to this world in 2020. Happy building. Thing that I don't want to forget is there's going to be a song, and then after the song, I'm to instruct you, no applause, we're going to be going right into the meditation. Go.
Taking a few deep breaths, letting this be the beginning of this time of meditation. As I wander on this long road, beckon me with your song of peace, your song of longing. What will I become? Will I stand for love? You wash away all my fear, all my distress, all my illusion, calling me to wake with your light of kindness and deep compassion. What will I become? Will I stand for love? Will I let my soul be one with you?
Just allow that beautiful music Cindy had and this beautiful music now just to ground us even more. And we start first by feeling the energy above our crown chakra. Just allow yourself just to feel that energy field. And allow it to start to flow in and through you. As we come through the eyes, the mouth, the lips, letting it bless all that we see, all that we hear, all that we say, down through our throat chakra, picking up the energy of our heart chakra, through our abdominal strength. And now, as with energy comes into our torso, I invite you, because we're all sitting here, a special way to let it flow through is let it come three ways to ground us even more. Let it come through your chakra, root chakra. As it comes through the base of your spine, feel that energy of the root chakra flow to the floor. Let the energy come through your legs, flowing to the floor, grounding you even more. And just feeling that energy securing you to that foundation. And in this place of alignment with spirit and grounding, we are open and ready to be in a place of peace that is based on our oneness, a peace that is secure in spirit, that is secure in principle. And the winds and rains will not sway us, for we are grounded in spirit. Let's just breathe that in. Breathe it in. Today I'm feeling, let's not go into the silence. Let that music feed you as you feel this grounding more. Let that music open your heart even more. Ground you. Ground you in this knowing you're one with spirit. Grounded. Grounded we are. And as we begin to bring this awareness of ours back to this time and place, back to this room, remember that grounding. And let us be that energy of peace in this world. And so it is. Amen and amen.
Such an honor to be here today with Edna. Reminding us that all we need to do is have a firm foundation, and all those winds that are blowing, whatever turmoil or strife there might be going on around us, we can stay grounded in spirit and in who we truly are, our divine nature, and see the beauty of life in every single moment. That's what this song is about. It's called May I Suggest from Susan Warner. May I suggest to you, may I suggest this is the best part of your life. May I suggest this time is blessed for you. This time is blessed and shining oh so blinding bright. Just turn your head and you'll begin to see the thousand reasons that were just beyond your sight. The reasons why I suggest to you, why I suggest this is the best part of your life. There is a world that's been addressed to you, intended only for your eyes. A secret world like a treasure chest for you, a private dreams and brilliant scenes that mesmerize. A lover's beautiful touch, a tiny baby's hand, the million stars that fill the turning sky at night. Yes, I suggest to you, yes, I suggest this is the best part of your life. There is a hope that's been expressed in you, the hope of 7 generations, maybe more. This is the faith that they invest in you. It's that you'll do one better than was done before. Inside you know, inside you understand, inside you know what's yours to finally set right. And I suggest, yes, I suggest to you, I suggest this is the best part of your life. This is a song, comes from the west to you, comes from the west, comes from the slowly setting sun. With a request of you, to see how very short the endless days will run. And when they're gone, and when the dark descends, oh, we'd give anything for one more hour of life. Yes, I suggest this is the best part of your life.
Yes, it's time for our thanks and offering. One time I heard a Unity minister, Reverend Mary Wood, say, "You want to feel a lot better when you leave church than you did coming in." And this is one of those days when, got it. Okay, for me. Yeah. And now we're going to bless our offering. If you hold it in your hands. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. And now Jay will lead us in singing. Everything that I am.
Ready to be who I came here to be. I'm ready to be everything that I am, everything that I am. I'm ready to be who I came here to be. I'm ready to be everything that I am, everything that I am, the I am, I am 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 the I am.
Now our chaplain, Joanne, will bless our offering.
So let us breathe. Let us bless what we have received. Give thanks for the givers and those who receive. And so it is. Amen.
Amen. And we have met the group, the givers and the receivers, and it is us, both, in that circle and cycle. Yes. All right. Now, time for some announcements. If you're celebrating with us for the first time, thank you for being part of our service. And there's more information in the foyer welcome packet. There is a potluck after the service downstairs for fellowship today, and everyone is invited. The Wednesday night meditations, Expanding the Light meditations, will not be meeting during the winter months and will be back in the spring. Our church annual meeting is next Sunday, January 19th. Please plan on staying after the service for this important congregational meeting, where members will vote on new board members, the 2020 budget, and will review 2019. That's an important Sunday for our community. Hope we don't have a blizzard. Oh, I know we won't have a blizzard. I know it will be lovely. Okay. And next week, Reverend Jen Hutchins will be back to speak on It Begins with a Dream. And special music will be provided by Millie Webb, in addition to it being the special Sunday of our annual meeting. And now, do we have no children downstairs? Okay, well, we bless all the children up here and the ones inside of us. And we are ready to skip You're Walking in the Light.
We also have Girl Scout cookie order forms over here in case
Okay.
anybody needs some Girl Scouts.
All right.
Making sure they know.
Okay. And Rose is our Girl Scout, so, all right, representing our church and the Girl Scouts. All right. Yeah. All right. So now we are ready to sing our peace song. We're just moving right along.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony, perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Thanks, Ollie.